Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Lock Pod, Season 10, Episode 19, the Midwest's most dangerous podcast without the locomotive, but with some serious
dangerous
firepower.
Dangerous
firepower,
humans. Yes.
And it will be proven that it's the world's most dangerous during the show.
That's great. Oh, during the show, so listen, right?
You got to listen in.
There's by the way, we've got a great show ahead of us. We've got election talk and some crazy porn election talk.
Yeah.
At the end, so stay
Nothing
tuned
makes
for this.
Elections better other than porn.
Nothing makes a Friday morning Lock Pod episode better than talking porn.
Well, see, if you compare the Tuesday's episode to the Friday's episode should be sexy. Weekends are sexy.
Get it on.
You know, yeah.
And a lot of things are closed today. No courts.
Yep.
No City Hall.
Yeah.
You guys are up early.
Off days are for lovers.
John Cantrell, Phil Talon in the house.
Maybe you should have a Friday porn segment.
Oh,
that doesn't go away.
Yes. And we'll have you on every
I'm happy
Friday.
to come in.
I'm happy to send you guys porn articles
every Thursday night.
But I will, under the condition you let me check your phones for porn.
We're gonna get all in, we're gonna get into that in the last segment. So okay, so here's something that happened to me last night, and this was not initially going to be on the note, but we had a little family get together with my cousins. Some of my cousins live in Austin and Texas. They flew in, and they happen to be big bowlers. So every time my cousin Tom Zudak comes in, he's like, "We got to go bowling." So he gets everybody together. It happened to be my Aunt Violet's 91st birthday as well. So
happy birthday, Aunt
yes,
Violet.
Happy birthday, Aunt Vi. So she was there. My Aunt Mary's 87. It was the whole thing.
Where'd you
right?
go bowling? Do you want to say?
Stardust Dyer.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And by the way, there was a high school sectional or a high school tournament going on. It was crazy.
Really?
Bishop Knoll, all the local schools. It was really cool. Like big fans, like a lot of cheering.
Nice.
It's a good place to take your kids to. Phil and I have
been there?
bowled there with our families and our children and our wives and stuff. And there's an arcade. But when we were there, who was? It was Valpo.
Yep.
Valpo had their
it's
college.
cool, right? There's
High
like
schools.
a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, one aside, the bar did close because there was a high school tournament, so that was not good for the But so anyway, we had this little tournament going on, a family tourney, and
people cannot see this, by
No.
the way. But wow.
and so we're getting back to bowling, John. Is that
Okay,
all right?
sorry.
John's in the porn
I
segment
am
already.
preoccupied with this future article. You guys are going to want to tune in.
Okay.
Stay watching.
All right.
So my dad was always a good bowler, and I was like, you know what? And I'm okay. I'm not that good, right? Like first round or first whatever game, 91. Terrible, right? Got to break 100.
Yeah, for sure.
Second round, 141. For me, that's good.
That's really
That's
good.
respectable.
That's like a couple strikes.
Yeah, that's
right,
good, man.
right.
It's
Somewhat
a huge
respectable.
percentage increase from
Agreed.
the first game.
50 pins more, right? So
Yeah.
I can respect my score, 141.
Oh, I have picture evidence of this.
Here it is. And then my dad, who is, I'm like, I got to beat him. He's 82. I got to beat him.
Yep.
Ninth frame, 132. My ninth frame, 132. I ended up.
Look at this. So up here, top left.
Yep.
And then he's bottom right.
I got a spare in the ninth. I get a 9 and then an open in the 10th, 141. My dad, 132. He bowls after me, by the way. All my cousins are throwing money, betting against me. 2 strikes. And then 155.
Oh my, he's a closer.
Yeah.
Your dad's a closer.
And then,
Yeah.
But this is funny because I was talking pre-show about bowling and our dads with John.
Yeah. My brother's, I shouldn't say this on the air because she may listen.
Okay.
He's doing something really fun for, I can't even get into it. Anyway, we're all going, and my dad's already talking trash about, it's a bowling event, and he's already talking trash about just destroying all the kids.
It must be like an old guy thing.
I think it is.
Because they can maybe still compete in this sport.
That's true.
Bowling, if it's a sport. I guess it
It's
is.
like riding a bike. You don't get bad at it, you know?
I guess.
Would he beat you in pickleball, Kevin?
No.
You sure?
No.
I don't know
He's
how I
not quick
feel.
enough.
I
Kevin's
think the
got
next
long
time
arms.
you get together, you should have a shirt that says, "My dad beat me in bowling."
Okay.
You know what I mean? For the family
He would
event.
love to have me
Yes,
wear that. right?
absolutely.
So, well, good job, Dad. 155 at age 82. Not bad.
That's
My
pretty
dad
good.
is always beat us in ping pong.
Yeah, well, I don't know why the city doesn't do more bowling events
It's
because
fun.
Tom is so good at bowling.
Tom is great at
He's
bowling. That's
ridiculous.
like a secret that
Yes.
people don't know. He was like the king of Napa Bowl.
See, and this is the opposite of like Phil if Phil was good at bowling, everybody, you bowl every other day because he's good at it. So I don't know. Like,
be
Tom,
part of your job.
Yeah, Tom's bowling, like, you're like, oh, let's go bowling. And he bowls 260. You're like, what in the
blow
heck?
everybody out.
Yes.
So we've had 2. We did an employee event.
Did we do employee Olympics for bowling?
We did. And Tom killed it. He did amazing. And then there was the one time we went against Crown Point. Remember when Mary Oran was there?
That's why we have the bowling pin here.
Yes.
It's right here.
It was a beatdown. It was a beatdown. Like
Hammond beat down Crown Point.
Hammond destroyed Crown Point.
You hear that, Mayor Dave?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
maybe it's a rematch. Maybe he can get his new crew together and see if he can compete. Because now
CVA versus
Kevin's breaking 100 now, so this is good.
That could be the D player.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin could be a sub, just to,
That's right. I don't mind coming off the bench.
Then you have tryouts because you do in Hammond. They have
Olympia Bowl. We got a couple of really good. They have a PG. What is it? A PBA event there.
I was trying to think of how to say like how good it is, but yeah, like it's like professional bowling there.
For sure.
Yeah.
John, you want to lead us into this next one because you found this. We have all of our iPhones out, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah. So,
by the way, did Jill forget to come today?
Yeah, where's Jill?
Jill, where are you?
Sometimes the boys' club.
Where did Jill?
Some people don't want to be a part of it.
Nobody even
Wait! Isn't she in Portugal or something?
Oh, she is. She's in Portugal,
and she's listening right now.
Yes,
hi Jill.
These guys.
That's right. Jill is in Portugal.
Hope you're having
Lindsay,
a
can you come up here?
Damn, I forgot about that. Thank God you guys are here.
Out of all the people that you have here, I think that Phil and I are the most inclusive guests. So like women should feel most comfortable.
And
most inclusive in which way?
Just we love all. Yeah, we love
Sanctuary
everybody.
Podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
And as it turns out, I'm the best attorney in the room.
We know that
because I got the email yesterday that said, "Phil, I've seen you're one of the top Northwest Indiana attorneys." And I immediately forwarded that to Kevin and John.
I know why they think that because they hear you talk and you're very evasive.
That's right.
You have a lot of excuses.
I object a lot.
You're a good liar.
Yeah. Well, okay, slow down there, Tonto.
The only thing you need to work on is your poker face. Your poker face, not that good.
I'm an honest engine.
You're the only one I know that has a World Series of Poker ranking.
I'm 1 for 1. I never played again.
Why not go out on top?
But I can tell when he's lying. Can you tell when he's lying, Kevin?
No.
Really?
I can't.
He talks too much. That's his tell. Sorry.
Ah.
Sorry to disclose. Yeah.
You don't tell a person their tell.
Now Phil's just not going to say anything the rest of the podcast.
Yes.
Okay. But can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret, Philip? I want you to be a better person.
Oh.
I want you to be better at life.
Well, could you tell me this off the air, though? Did you have to do it? Now everybody knows my tell.
Now, every time Phil talks, be like, he's lying. He's lying. Phil, look at how much he's talking.
This is growth. It's a sanctuary, and it's therapy.
I do well in Poker Club. Watch, after this podcast, in Poker Club, I'm going to go straight down the rest of my life.
It's a good test in the human condition. You can see before or after.
I like it.
Get back to me. Yeah.
Speaking of things that we need to compare.
Yes. So let's do this, Kevin. Everyone watching in chat, if you could post the 4 apps in your iPhone dock on the bottom of the screen.
Explain what an iPhone dock is, John.
It's on the bottom of your screen.
Bottom of your home screen.
Which you always have.
The 4 apps that are permanently there.
This is a little discriminatory against Android users, but we don't care about that.
No.
Right?
That's why Jill's not here.
Yeah.
Hey, Jill, we're going to do this iPhone bit. You can't come.
Yeah.
So go to Portugal.
She just sent a text that said, "I'm out of the country and I'm not getting any of your texts."
So what we're going to do is compare that to former President Obama's 4 apps that he has in his dock.
Okay. One of the things I want to say is you can change your apps on the screen. Some people have like 10 pages worth of apps, but these 4 on the bottom always stay the same, even when you're shifting through all the screens of your apps.
The dock.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm just explaining it to people that aren't aware of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And my kids are very, they look at my phone and they laugh. They're like, why do you have all these pages of apps? You don't even have to have them on your screen. You can just search for them. And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, they do
pages
the search
and pages.
function.
Yeah, they do the search function.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people are already putting it in chat. Thank you.
Okay, good.
So does the winner get anything, or just like we'll just give him a shout
We'll
out?
ask Steve. Steve Kellogg will take care of it. Or no, Phil will make sure Laura gets a gift card. You knew that was coming, right?
How about like a free piece of merch? Free piece of merch.
Perfect.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
How about
Lockpod shirt.
Pick anything you want.
No, not on this wall. Not on this wall.
No.
But you can have the Lockpod swag over here. We have a shirt.
Look at that.
Sure, if it fits you.
There's some valuable items over there. Yeah.
So if your 4 apps match Obama's, you're getting a free Lockpod shirt. So go ahead and put your 4 apps in the chat that are in your dock. Here we go.
What are the 4 apps in your iPhone dock?
4 apps at the bottom.
I've got Safari.
Key.
I've got my text.
Oh my God!
The green.
Nicole's about to win this.
You're a blue bubble. Do you give people any crap for being a green bubble?
No, I'm okay.
I do.
All right.
I've got my email.
Oh.
And I have my music. That's it.
It's like the stock set. Pretty good.
Yeah, if you asked the ones that I probably go to more than I should, I might have to put like Words with Friends on there, where I think I waste a lot of time. And maybe my NBA League Pass.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Love Obama.
So no one won. Did anyone win that? No one.
No one won it.
It was text.
I have. It was. Yeah, I don't have text in my dock. I have phone.
Me too.
You have.
Yeah.
So everything else, I was 3 for 4. I have email, phone, Safari, music.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I just assumed it was the same for everybody.
I think that,
No, you can change those.
That's
I
the
know,
factory.
but these are always going to be the top 4.
Maybe text. Why wouldn't
or
text be?
but-
Wait, did you get it, Phil?
No,
No,
we
I
have the
have
same.
phone as
John, what do
well.
you have?
I have the same as you
See
guys.
now, I bet. See now, John being a techie, he has definitely messed with the bottom to like
for
be
sure.
very efficient.
We're
So I
old. The
have,
3 of us are old,
that's
and
right.
and not super tech.
Let's go to the young guy in the room.
Yeah.
OnlyFans? No. No, I have phone messages,
have an
mail,
app?
and calendar.
Wait, phone,
messages, mail, calendar.
All right,
All right, a little
so
different.
calendar is in there.
The real question is, what's in your dock? What is in your row above the dock? That's the brass tacks.
Is that really the
right there.
go-to?
That's the brass tacks.
Now, see,
man.
I think that what I do is the ones I use the most are at the very top of the
What?
screen.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That's
mine
where
are
my
more
thumb
top.
is. That's
See,
where my thumb
mine
is.
is on the left. The ones I use the most are on the left.
Mine are a mess.
Yeah.
I've just decided mine are just a disaster.
So I have my camera right in the middle in case I need to do it fast. It's
Oh.
right in the middle.
Mine's
on
top
far,
right.
Far
I
left.
like mine top right.
No,
Where's
mine-
yours, Phil?
Mine's on the left.
No,
Mine-
but
where's
you
yours,
sh-
John?
You should be right where your
Wait,
thumb
what?
is.
Where's
Right
my
where your
what?
thumb
Same
is.
spot. We're in the
Yes.
same spot.
Camera.
Yeah.
Right where your thumb is.
My
right where your
camera
thumb
is
would
like
go.
bottom leftish.
Yeah.
Mine's top right.
Let's say you and Jana are making out and you want to take a photo, Kevin.
quick
You
one.
need
No
to have
one
it
wants
really.
to see that.
She does.
Not even you and
I don't
Jana?
think so.
You do, yeah. Send her some pics
Wait,
of
so-
like selfies of you kissing it. See what
Send
happens.
some. Do you have? So have you done that where you're like, Kristen? Let's make out. Let me get my thumb ready on this camera so I can take a picture.
Yeah, and then I want to do that, but then you would see a picture of her
Your thumb?
her hand on my face. I'm trying to make out with her unexpectedly.
And she's
Yeah.
trying to stop you.
and it's still good by me.
You know that's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
assault.
No, it's not. No,
No, maybe battery, but we're
yeah,
not.
right.
all right.
There's
So-
no assault in Indiana. But
A good
that's
point,
different
John.
story. Yeah, Indiana doesn't
Well,
care.
no,
if
I
you
know
it's
that.
coming.
I'm the top attorney in this area.
Oh, that's right. Why
I
didn't
don't-
we ask you?
Yeah, guys, just let me know if you have
You know,
any questions.
once in a while, we appreciate. By the way, we appreciate all the lock potters out there, and one of the things we love to get is mail and pictures and everything else. This isn't really a mailbag, but I did want to hear John's lips. So, John, can we do the mailbag?
Mailbag.
Wow.
So
Impressive.
good. Very good.
Just
It's
like-
not even on our soundboard.
Well,
That's original.
And it sounds kind of dirty, and it's related to the mouth. And then he talks about males and bags. Males have bags. I just we need to change it. We
John
got
Cantrell in
yeah.
the house.
yeah.
Check this out. This is a
Impressing.
real picture. Obviously not in
Northwest Indiana.
Indiana. Where did you get this shirt, by the way?
All right, can you describe
That is okay. Yeah, great. So this is John Bowditch. She's a great fan of the show, retired Chicago police officer, and a good dude, and avid listener of Lockpod. He sent this in. I think he said he was in the Keys. He's wearing a Lockpod shirt, and the back says "The Midwest's Most Dangerous Podcast." I thought these were at the Oiler game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have one. I have one.
So Oiler game. Thank you.
And I have one,
Steve.
and my wife has one. I know Kelly
Nice.
Talon has one. So
Nice.
we'll go out to like Byway for dinner, and we'll all be wearing the same shirt. And it's kind of embarrassing.
so-
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing.
so
You were
nice of you,
wearing it
though.
just the other day, John.
Yeah.
You were wearing it somewhere.
It's 50-50, so it's really comfortable, and I have sensitive nipple syndrome, so I have to.
So does Phil.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
You guys, I don't.
If you wear a 50-50 shirt like that, and then you go put on something 100% cotton, you'll be.
Have you ever seen Phil when he tapes his nipples
Mhm.
because
That's
of
just
the
for
sensitive
running.
nipple
Yeah.
syndrome?
Listen, guys, when you're running marathons like I am,
Yeah,
you're going to want to take some precautionary measures.
but why don't you just lotion up?
Well, I mean, that's one way.
But that's not 100%.
No, but taping is 100%.
Okay.
Kevin,
You're
seriously,
safe.
have you you run long distances?
I don't
Have your
run very
nipples
long
ever
distance.
bled from running?
Yes.
I want to say one time.
Yes.
Okay, and then like
It was a 10-mile run.
okay, did it? How long did it take to heal? Was it like
You're done in a day.
okay? That's
right?
not bad.
Yeah, but
Philip?
usually no. The answer is usually it does
Okay.
not make
Well,
it
wait,
bleed.
no, it does burn
Could you
in
do
the
it-
shower the next morning.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Would you say in a 2-mile run your nipples bleed?
No, it has to be it's both the length of the run and it's also the type of shirt that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
a good call.
If you wear the wrong shirt, you can run 1 mile and it'll start chafing.
So if you see Phil on a bike path on a trail in Hammond,
see, like,
and you see
blood
like
stains.
red, just it's okay. He's fine.
Do not alert authorities.
Just another Wednesday.
You know what we should do? We should sit out there and tailgate and just catch him one day and call. Like that would be a great police report.
Yeah, it would.
Well, sometimes it's my piercings too.
Oh,
So you just don't know what it is that day.
Well, and like the two up top are hanging like connected.
The chain. This is going off the rails.
No.
It was going to be bad today.
I forgot to do this. Our episodes. Speaking of, no, I don't want to say speaking of that because our episode sponsor is Rogers Roofing. And John Rogers has nothing. Rogers Roofing has nothing to do with bloody nipples.
John's had shingles before, though.
What's that?
You've had shingles.
Whoa,
No,
that
I
we'll go
haven't.
right into it.
No, I haven't.
Have you had the shingles shot?
It was a rash unrelated to shingles altogether.
But it looked like shingles.
Yeah, I mean
Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader. Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's rogersroofing.com, 933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time. They're our episode sponsor today. Thank you. We're going to go into ads because we're going to come back and do election news.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's do some ads. Come on back. Stay tuned. And then, of course, third segment, election porn.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Good transition.
Right into tortillas.
Yes.
Our sponsors are loving this today.
Oh, I'm sure. Watch next week. You're going to have less sponsors than you had this week. Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for their iconic red and white label at your local grocery store. Indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
Okay, Powering Indiana, Lake County, IBEW, Local 697. You can remember that because it's 69 plus lucky number 7. And NECA proudly introduces Powering Indiana, Lake County with over a century of experience. They've been dealing safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across the region, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Visit 697jatc.org to join us as we continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana with a 30-year legacy of excellence. Their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing always on time and within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions. I saw Rick earlier this week. He was designing some new signage for us. It's great.
This last one is a lot of pressure on me here.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Now, don't forget, you already said you're the best attorney in
I'm going to work that into the ad.
All right, good. Let's see how you do this.
Cantrell and Cantrell. Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. When you're facing legal challenges or injuries, they're here to guide you through the process. Their dedicated team, including John and Kristen Cantrell, is in court and at the jail every day, ready to fight for your rights. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com and discover how the second best attorney team in Northwest Indiana can make a difference in your case.
I will say that if I do think that somebody's better than us, I would say it's Kevin and Steve. Kevin
that's
Smith and
nice.
Steve Cersei. You know, like my client base is pretty hard to deal with, but it's also a good client base because my clients are the people in the car accidents that flip over at 3:30 in the morning when people are drinking. So
we're happy to help.
Yeah. So like we get a complex case that's tough, and my first response is Kevin. Like Home Alone.
I
You're
appreciate
asking
that.
for help.
It's mostly Steve, but and don't hold yourself. Don't. Short because you're a legal genius.
Well,
we know that.
I'm just creative. We have we play.
That's a good.
We play good cop, bad cop.
If we could show some of the text chains we've had between the three of us about like John's ideas, and we're like, John, I don't know if that's gonna work, man.
The last one, the last weird idea that we came up with led to like a pretty nice chunk of change. Yeah. So Kevin and Steve are kind of like the Phil Jackson of lawyers. They're like Zen and like they help resolve issues. They're the energy you want to bring, and it's chaos. They're like they right the ship. So that's who you want. Like if you're going through tough times, you want somebody that's going to make you feel comfortable, and you go to Smith Sursick.
I think I'd hire both teams because it's a good mesh.
A lot of people do.
Sursick,
A lot of people do.
Cantrell come together.
We've been teaming up for a long time.
What's that hourly rate look like? Bringing in both
it all
of you.
depends.
The super group.
We'll make it work for you.
Okay, we're working on accident cases together. I get a complex case. There's like 7 lawyers involved. I bring in the Ivy League team, the University of Chicago team. They got Ivy League motherfuckers. We need Ivy League motherfuckers. You call
If that's
Kevin,
not
you
threatening.
call Smith and Sursick.
Well, wait, hold on. Okay, Ivy League. So you went to Harvard,
No.
Yale?
No.
Penn.
No, keep going.
It's
Well,
Penn.
it's
Penn.
ruining the joke.
No.
You know what I mean?
You know what?
It doesn't count.
Penn hasn't had a lot of scandals like these other schools have.
Oh, is that your endorsement?
Yeah. So like really like
Scandal less.
in the past 4
Scandalous.
years, do you really think Harvard and Princeton and Yale are as good as you thought they were? No. So,
I'd like my degree to say Harvard or Yale.
Oh, yeah. They're out there.
Yeah.
Right here in Lake County.
Mine's more local.
Hey,
Let's talk about the elections. Let's get into that.
Let's do that.
I was
All
going
right,
to say, by the way, Jill is in chat.
Oh,
From
what?
Portugal.
Welcome.
What'd she say?
She
Is it
may
in Spanish?
Skype in later. She's working on it.
Is it in
Oh,
Portuguese or
yeah.
English? Yeah.
It's in Portuguese.
I want to see something. What's going on in Portugal?
What time is it
mid-afternoon.
there?
What do you think? 6 or 7 ahead?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
And
Really?
so, like, yeah. Right. I'm guessing 6, 7.
See, Europe's weather is just like ours. So is this a good time to go to Portugal?
I would think
don't
Portugal, Spain, got to be a little bit better. Isn't it like Florida? Probably because doesn't like the don't they always say-
Tennessee, maybe. I don't know. We'll look at the latitude and longitude.
All right. Like I never think of like Greece or Italy as like cold.
No,
And
that's,
they're still kind of
yeah, but I guess it's like Florida in November, which ain't bad.
not bad at all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would take that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this, John. What happened?
She can't get Skype to download where she is.
Damn.
But she's going to be there a while, it sounds like. She's going to be in Porto next Friday. She might call from there.
All right. Good.
I think
There you
Buddha Judge was just there. So
Nice. Maybe we should run into him.
Maybe she could do what Dr. Mike did the one time, where she takes the camera and she's looking around, but it's all on her. She's like, take a look at everything. It's beautiful.
Look at Vietnam.
Yes.
And it was just like looking at
It
Dr.
was
Mike in
his
Munster.
eye.
All right, John. I know you follow local elections, just like many of us do, if not better. So tell us what the takeaway.
So I had a lot of friends and a lot of volunteers working on different races because this was a general election, but there were some good, highly contested races in Lake County that people were interested in. I was interested in.
And around the state.
Yeah, so like people were looking for volunteers. A lot of friends I had were supporting Betsy Barnes for judge in Crown Point. A lot of lawyers, and so like everybody was just talking about things they experienced at the polls, and there's so much anger out there for like if you're.
This is in a municipal year. I was thinking to myself, think about next year.
Next year's going to be
Off the
insane.
rails.
Completely insane. So this is what people experienced here in Lake County.
Mm-hmm.
They're outside of the poll. They're trying to hawk votes for people. Hey, good morning to you. Thank you for coming to vote. Would you please consider Betsy Barnes for judge? Would you please consider J.R. Perez for councilman? And so one of the first questions that people came with is that a Republican or a Democrat?
Wow.
And so, and you know.
That's a great example of what America looks like right now.
These are some extreme examples, and these are actual dialogue of what people were saying to the people who were asking people to vote outside of the polls. One of them, the worst one was, no, this is the second worst one. The worst one was, are you supporting the party that is pro-transsexual? Wow. That's one. then they had, are you you support the American Party or the baby killing party?
Wow.
And a lot of times people would come back outside of the poll and be like, oh, your candidate was a Democrat, so that's a deal breaker for me. And it's just so.
Why do you think it's all like? Why do you think the Republicans are more vocal about this?
They're angry. They're angry.
They're angry.
They're so angry. You could feel it. And so like
I'm sorry. This guy, it was in the paper, but some dude in like a poll in Munster at a school had a gun. Now the school's closed. It was election day, but still, like they got a report like some dude like pulled up his waistband to show everybody he had a gun on him.
Saw that.
It's like, what?
I will say this: when Trump was president, I was a lot angrier than I am today.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, think about how we felt at the time. Like, how are they letting him do this? And how are they letting him say this? And so it is something going on in society.
But it's just crazy that like in a local. So you're talking about like John was saying, like a local judge election, a local council election.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times the truth is that party like national politics shouldn't matter in a local race because you're dealing with things that really just affect your community a lot of times. Now, some of the national issues are starting to bleed into local stuff, but for the most part, I think when I'm talking about a locally elected official, I want to make sure that they are doing what's best for my city or town or community, right? And these people are going about like national issues, like you said, John, about a judge race, for example.
Well, this is a local municipal judge, and people who are coming in to vote were asking like, well, my daughter says there's a transsexual in the girls' locker room at the Y in Crown Point. What would she do what would she do as a judge to stop that? Or like,
brother,
and then you go on and explain like, well, like
it's like traffic tickets and like DUIs.
Yes.
We're talking about
if she was cited for something in the Crown Point City Court. Yeah, it's just like, but the aggression and like the yelling to like there were high school kids out there supporting candidates, and this guy was yelling at a high school student because he thought she was supporting the party of transsexuals who are all like the Democrats are all transsexuals apparently. Like it's just and so then he came out and voted, and then he came back and was talking trash to the high school girl, and everybody was like, what are you doing, dude? Like just move about your business.
Yeah, it seems to be the
energy is off.
The anger is up.
And it's going to be Philip's right. Next year is going to be like bring your shield to go vote.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just going to say I brought this up in the podcast before. We stopped being Americans a while back, and there used to be this political disagreements on a lot of issues, but there was also, hey, in the end, we're still all Americans. We got to do what's right, but that's gone now. It's all political parties.
I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's just.
I think it is.
But yeah, I'm sure it doesn't help.
I think it is.
So like Kevin and I can even go against each other in a case, and at the end of the case, we can go to Red Lobster,
of course,
and go have
John's
dinner.
Favorite restaurant. Just for those that don't know, John,
I'm white trash, and I love Red Lobster. It's delicious. I'd rather go there than the Ritz. But so I really
what do you get when you go there?
Oh, he doesn't stop, John. It's
Admiral's Feast all day, unless they're having like it's Crab Fest or Lobster Fest.
What about endless
if this
shrimp?
doesn't prove that John goes, like, look at this.
Okay,
he knows it.
So like if you were smart, you get the scampi and you eat the shrimp scampi first, and then you have the garlic butter to dip like your fried shrimp into the.
Or how
garlic
about
butter.
dipping the cheddar biscuits in it?
Oh, the Cheddar Bay biscuits, yeah. It's like wear baggy pants so you can.
Sponsored by Red Lockpot. Sponsored by Red Lobster.
Add 'em on.
Yeah.
An unfortunate presentation that just was.
Oh, listen, you seafood snob. So I mean, that's how I judge like normal lawyers, because you get done with the case, you have a trial, and then you see them the next day, and they won't even look at you.
Right.
Like what's wrong with you? You know, like we got to work on this tomorrow. It's the same thing with politics. If you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat, we should still be able to go to Red Lobster. Like, why are you yelling at me?
Right. Why are you insulting me?
Yeah, this is a contest. This is a competition. If you beat me, congratulations, but I'm going to come get you next time.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what politics is, and I don't know why it's so personal and it's making people crazy.
It does. I mean, and the other thing is like, I think, why you want to talk about probably what type of politics has the least impact on your daily life. It's national stuff, right?
Yeah.
And yet people tend to gravitate towards national issues instead of being active locally. And I mean, that's the thing. If you really want to make an impact, you get active locally. I think that's where you can make the most impact, at least to start, and then go from there.
Well, when we were talking about social media, I think because when you watch videos, you're always seeing the most extreme on both sides.
So true.
And they make you angry.
So true.
But that's not that's not us. That's not our. That's one extreme individual who's saying something really dumb, and it makes the whole party angry. It's weird.
I want to make sure we do some shout outs to some folks that have been on Lockpot in the past that won.
Ooh.
And these
Do you think they won because they were on your podcast?
Well, that's a given.
For
Okay.
sure.
That's,
All
I just want to make sure that's a. So in other words, if you want to win,
Yeah.
come on Lockpot.
And don't be on the episode where we're talking about porn.
No.
Because that'll take you in the wrong direction.
So these are some big races around the state, and these are folks that have been on Lockpot. Oh, I also want to throw number one, Mayor Joe Hogsett in Indy.
Yes.
One big. His opponent, I think John's got a nice little, this was on X or on Twitter. The Mayor Joe's opponent spent $15 million.
Crazy.
In a Indy mayor's race.
And it was a lot of personal money, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause he's self-made.
self-funded.
Yep.
Yeah, it's $15 million to lose by 20 points. And this is actually funny at his concession speech. Jefferson Shreve concedes the mayoral race, and at the end of his speech, he encouraged the audience to take advantage of the open bar. We can afford it.
What does that even mean?
Maybe he was just trying to
You just spent a
encourage
lot of
people
money.
to have a good time at the.
I feel like right after he left, though, he's going to go cry.
Maybe.
At how much cash he put into
That's
this
a
race.
lot of dough.
But see, that,
15 mil.
That's somebody that's still earning a lot of money because you only care.
That's true.
That if you spend that amount, if you're still making money.
I hope so.
Yeah,
for
that
his
has
sake.
to be the case because that's the only thing that would give you solitude, right?
But congrats to Mayor Joe.
Yes.
He's an avid listener. In fact, he
Yes.
always tells me he's listened to every episode, and he's been on, I don't know, John, how many times has Mayor Joe been on? Four or
Yeah,
5 times?
yeah.
We love Mayor Joe. So congrats to Mayor Joe.
Congrats.
Also, a shout out to Zach Brown and his team in Lawrence, because their candidate won for mayor, and Zach is former
nice.
campaign
Nice,
head
yeah.
of Mayor Tom's Senate
And
campaign.
he's been on podcasts.
Zach's been on several times, so congrats to Zach and his team down there, Leandre
He's
and
a
all
winner.
those folks. He's a winner.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zach's wife, Allie, she won. She was
Oh.
on a post, but
Wow.
congrats to Indy
Well, that's
Councilor
even better. That's even more of a
Allie Brown,
compliment.
for sure.
Yeah.
So locally, folks that have been on that won, Eddie Melton, new mayor of Gary, real exciting.
Yes.
Josh Huddleston, Hobart.
Awesome.
Bill Carroll, Lake Station.
Yeah.
And, of course, you can't forget the mailman.
Have to bring up the
Dave
mailman.
Werpel, winner in John's district. John's councilman.
In my district.
And, I'm sorry, John and John.
Yeah.
Councilman Warple worked so hard. You know, he had a legitimate contender coming at him, and he worked.
Former councilman.
So he really followed his recipe. He's going to work the neighborhood, and then he's going to work it again, and then he's going to work it again.
a third time and a fourth time.
Yeah, he crushed it, and he was even reminding people to vote on election day and the day before. Like, that's how you win. You get your base to come out and vote. You know, like if nobody's paying attention, you might get your butt kicked.
And who better to walk a neighborhood than a mailman?
Yeah, no kidding.
He's got it down.
He was amazing. I thought the Hobart race was so interesting because, and I don't want to talk politics for so long, but you had the mayor, who was a police chief, switched from Democrat to Republican.
About what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, and he's a police officer, so
Yeah.
he just is like, I can't be a Democrat anymore.
It
Like,
might have been
defund-
more than 2 years ago, John, because it was during Trump's
It was
term.
during the defund the police movement.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He's like, no, he's like, screw it. He's like, I'm no longer a Democrat.
And I thought, actually, I think probably where you're going with this, and I don't mean to steal your thunder, but
No,
the
good.
thought I thought at the time, I was like, man, Hobart's going to go Republican.
Yeah.
And it has actually, like you said, John, this election is all D's.
It's so
There are at least not most D's, I want to say, not the whole council, but
it's even stranger because you had the mayor switch to a Republican, then he said, I'm not running. Okay, so then I was like, man, the city's pretty split. No Republican got in the race, so you had this Democratic
Independent.
councilman running against an independent who owns a Jamaican restaurant that really doesn't like the city, and so Republicans didn't even field a
which was
candidate.
strange, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't you think they would have got organized? And that, I mean, and for those that don't know, Hobart is I would call it white blue collar town. Is that fair?
Yeah, but
with also a pretty good Hispanic population.
A lot of Trumpers, a lot of camo wearers over there, so I think that I say it's 50-50.
Yep. So interesting, and the results weren't 50-50. So congrats to Josh Huddleston, Bill Carroll, obviously Eddie Melton, Joe Hogsett, and Dave Werpel.
Can we throw three quick one?
Yeah, please.
Three more?
Oh, who did I forget?
No. Well, one, I want to say congratulations to the new mayor of Michigan City.
Yes.
Because, sorry, but the last mayor had some issues, and it's good to see them going in a different direction. Angie,
First
Mayor
African American mayor of and first female mayor. No.
Whoa.
I think they might have had it, of Michigan City. So congrats out there to Councilwoman Angie, who's now mayor-elect.
2 more.
Okay.
Congratulations to our friend Amy Blaker.
Oh,
yes,
right?
I forgot about Amy. So
I mean, Winfield. I'm not going to say who, but I was at a dinner. It's a big group of people. There was a prominent Republican sitting at the table, and he's like, "Sorry, Amy, you're in a Republican area in Winfield. You really don't have a chance."
the other thing I would say about Amy, so Amy's first Democratic elected official in Winfield, which is kind of a new town here in Lake County. They've been in existence maybe for 10 years, around that. And the thing about Amy, though, is she grew up in politics. Mom's very political. She worked for Congressman Visklowski for years. She knows politics. She worked it. She worked her tail off.
Yes.
She knows politics better than most of us.
Agreed.
Let's be honest.
And so congrats to Amy Blaker. That was a big win, and she now is Councilwoman-elect.
Last one.
Okay.
And you know, we all like JR. Great guy. You know, that was a tough for us. Who you're rooting for? JR is obviously the Democrat. But a Hammond fireman, Philip Sharinga, ended up winning that spot, and want to congratulate him as well. He's a good guy. Great Hammond fireman. And so just want to say
I got one more.
Oh, yes.
Ready?
Yes.
6th-term mayor of Hammond, your boss.
Yes.
The locomotive.
That's like, you know, I mean.
Mayor Tom.
It's like if you want to get into politics and you want to put a big L, on your record, just run against Mayor Tom and see how that goes for you.
So we can't forget he got reelected.
It's the highest compliment when you don't have competition.
Agree?
Yeah.
Mayor Locomotive.
Yeah.
You know, he could put that on the ballot, right? Can't you put Tom Locomotive McDermott Jr. if you wanted to?
It's a good point. Why doesn't he?
He needs
Is he
to do that
embarrassed
going
of
forward.
Lockpod?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
But you have to put the locomotive, right?
True.
Oh, that's
true.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
But now, how do you feel about Compass?
I mean, I guess it sets me up for failure. That's what I'm concerned about.
But do you see how
it's going to be a disappointment to everybody.
The compass.
do you see how people think like there's some naughty connotations to that?
No.
The compass.
Oh, I haven't
Hall
seen that.
pass.
John,
Compass.
John.
So I don't think
Dark today.
Right in the gutter.
Right?
I didn't think about that. He cut your mic.
I'd say
Wow.
40% of
Kristen right now is. I would love to see her reaction right now. She's shaking.
Yeah, what is she
She
saying?
just got her head down.
oh my
well, if you
gosh.
think she's
John.
listening, you're mistaken. Yeah.
That makes 2 of our wives.
Yes.
So,
Can we title the episode Compass?
Yes.
No.
How are you going to spell it?
no.
I'd say 40% of the people I've surveyed have really thought that this was naughty. And
That
it
was 2
like
out of 5.
A double entendre. No,
Kevin,
no.
what's the odds you ever invite John and I to fill in for Tom ever again?
Every week, every
this-
Friday.
is this
Because
it?
this is only going to go downhill when you get to the 3rd segment.
Hey, listen. Sometimes when you go see an attorney, they present perspectives that you didn't think of
That's
before.
true.
So I mean, like you need to have all these things.
When Tom's not here, the ads are going to be like Pornhub.com.
Lockpod, sponsored by.
Yes.
All right, there's there are certain people that we love to keep going on Lockpod because they're gifts that keep on giving, and one is MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She had a great victory this week in the House of Representatives by she sponsored an amendment to the 2024 Financial Services and General Government Appropriations Act that slashed Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg's salary to $1.
Crazy, right?
Through the House. Made it through the House.
Look at this.
I mean,
It's like
see,
it's so
So is that a done deal?
No. It's not a done deal
What
at
happens
all.
next? It
I think
goes-
it has to go to the Senate, right?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go there. And I mean,
Okay.
it's ridiculous. And by the way, it just again, and this is something John has said. John Vesmar has said on and on again. It's like, certain people are just going for headlines and to raise money. And this isn't government. This isn't like, what is this outside of, just getting a headline, right?
100%.
And it has nothing to do with efficient government, trying to do something for the country. It's, I want to bitch about this, so I'm going to make sure everybody hears. And John, do you have the quote from her? I think I've got it here.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is.
Right here.
I'm just going to read it. I'm proud to announce my amendment to fire Pete Buttigieg just passed the House. Pothole Pete staged fake bike rides to the White House and used private planes funded by taxpayers to receive awards for the way certain people have sex. Green said in a social media post Tuesday, American taxpayers should not be on the hook for paying for his lavish trips or salary. Pete Buttigieg doesn't do his job. It's all about fake photo ops and taxpayer-funded private jet trips to accept LGBTQ awards for him, Green said. I'm happy my amendment passed, but he doesn't deserve a single penny.
Here's the problem when this is what we're talking about media
Thank you,
again.
MTG.
Is nobody's going to research. The people that support her, they're not going to research any of this.
They're just like, he did take private planes for gay awards.
Wow, we got to let's support her again. They're not going to do any real research to see if this guy is one of the most professional, best elected officials.
You want to
Well,
talk about
he's not an elected
intelligent.
official, but yeah, he used to be an elected official. But yeah, exactly. He's one of our leaders in the whatever.
He's kind of fucked up a lot, though.
The Donald
disagree.
has really changed how people are
What they can get away
running
with.
their politics.
Yeah.
Like just the name calling, like it's so juvenile, but I think that there's a certain percentage of the population that clearly likes
They always
it.
have, but like Trump made it okay to do it and
Yeah.
make money on it. I mean, I guarantee you, John, that she put out a fundraising email
For sure.
about this.
It's
sure.
so
She
it's
raised
so
some
tra-
money
it's
off
so
of it.
transparent. It's so
I
transparent.
mean, she's got a lavish lifestyle to lead.
You could also predict that this is now that she did this, it's going to happen again a couple more times, like within the next 12
And
months.
who knows?
to
Maybe
other
this has
people.
happened before, but I mean, this is just the latest kind of like headline grabbing thing by MTG.
I just can't wait till Beetlejuice the musical comes to Atlanta.
So we can see
so
if,
then
she can do it. She'll have
she can
Bobert out
crash
with
and
her.
burn, yeah.
Her and Bobert will go out.
Yeah.
And, all right. So what do we got next? You guys want to do some ads and come back and
Sure.
talk about
Yeah, let's do that.
our porn segment?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do
Okay.
that. So let's do some ads. We'll be right back. It's going to be exciting. John Cantrell in the house.
Are we moving into the porn one after this, you said?
Would you have John? Anything else? Or you missed
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
ton of links. You
Oh, there
guys
are?
put in,
Okay.
We can go quickly through
Oh,
them, though.
Yeah.
well, you know what? You want to talk about the fact that Nancy Pelosi's husband's attacker has been in court. And by the way, I didn't realize this. If he gets convicted, he could serve life in prison for this attack.
Well, I mean, it's pretty.
Well, I agree. I just didn't realize that it was
Gotcha.
that the charge carried that significant of a penalty. And John, it all has to do with the fact that Nancy Pelosi was an elected official and it was a family member, right? And it was and it had to do with they're trying to prove that the reason he did it was to impact her official duties, I think, and that probably impacts the guy's sentence
Yes.
He broke into their house, right?
with a hammer.
Right. So I think, think if that happened to any of us, I don't care if it had to do with politics. Somebody breaks
Agreed.
into your house and, oh, my God.
But I don't think it's usually
Scary.
carries a life, right, John? That'd be a burglary or a
For
robbery.
sure.
Or,
I mean, so in Indiana, if you did that, if you hurt the person really bad, you'd be looking at 20 to 40.
okay.
If you just
And that's appropriate. I think that's right.
significant.
Yeah.
if you broke in with just a weapon, it would be 10 to 30.
Okay. And what if you broke in? What if it's just a burglary?
3
No.
to 16.
Okay. So there you go. So if you're going to do it,
Don't
just
hurt
go
anybody.
burglary.
Well, think
If
about
they're
this.
not home.
Think about this. If you're going to do it, you would break into a business because you're only looking at 1 to 6 if it's
There's
a business.
usually more
Yeah,
more things of value in a business too.
for sure.
Okay.
But there's way more likely there to be cameras. Think about that too.
True.
Yeah.
All right. This is.
Do you think
things
this
that
is what John
deals with
tells
every
his
day.
clients?
Every day.
He's like, hey,
You know, why did you break into their house? Why didn't you just go to the business?
I'm spouting the law. That's all.
So this is crazy though, because part of the evidence that was put in was I think they started with Nancy Pelosi's husband in a pool of blood. That was like the part of the opening. John.
So the reason why this is so crazy is the defense is not saying that he didn't do it.
right.
This isn't what it's about. They're saying that he did it to try to protect children because of the politics and protect
Because he was like a QAnon
yes
pedophile.
That's the defense. So now we're going to find out if the judge is going to allow them to present that defense because you can't just throw a crazy defense out there. So they're going to have to be able to convince the judge that this is a viable defense.
And this is in federal court, right?
Yes.
So what happens, John? This is a question I want you to explain to our listeners. A lot of times you'll see articles that say they're charged federally, but they also have state crimes. What kind of happens when you're charged in both federal and state court? How does that usually work?
Okay, so let's say that somebody's charged with attempted murder. And so they get charged with attempted murder. They shot their neighbor.
Is that in state court or in
That's
federal
in
court?
state court.
Okay.
Okay. But the guy's a convicted felon. In Indiana, the feds can pick up any gun case because we don't manufacture any guns in Indiana. So if the guns cross state lines, the federal prosecutors have jurisdiction.
So when you get charged in both courts, do you have to deal with both cases, or does sometimes one just kind of take over and the other one gets not dismissed?
Usually the feds are specifically charging somebody because they are trying to take them off the market and put them in prison because, you know, the DEA or the ATF thinks that this person needs to be put in timeout.
So in this case specifically, in Nancy Pelosi's husband's case, the federal crime actually has the life sentence. And so you think that that's kind of where they're focusing, and we'll see what happens with the state crime?
Sure. Like, let's say that my client gets really mad at his neighbor and he goes and shoots the guy in the kneecap, and he ends up shooting up a little bit higher. The femoral artery severed, and the guy dies. And he's like, well, I just tried to shoot him in the kneecap. I didn't try to kill him. So you could go in and argue like, I didn't try to kill him. This was an accident. It was a crime of recklessness, and he died. So sometimes you're arguing that you're not arguing the facts. You're just arguing like how things went down. So that's what they're trying to do. So they're trying to, I think, like argue something that there would be no federal jurisdiction.
Okay, but wouldn't the judge is going to determine whether or not they have enough evidence to prove that babies were actually in danger, like they're saying that they were?
Sure, the judge is gonna have to decide whether or not they're allowed to present that defense to the jury.
So, John, if let's just say for some reason he is found not guilty in federal court, he still would have to go and face the double jeopardy. Doesn't attach to the state crimes, right? He would still have to go face the state crimes.
Correct.
Okay.
So I mean, sometimes, you know, like the feds charge somebody and the state prosecutors charge somebody, and they have cases going on at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay. Kind of like Donald Trump. He's got a lot of cases going on at the same time right now.
For sure.
All right, let's do some ad. Are we good? Or John, do we have more?
No, we're good.
I mean, there's more, but we got to move on.
All right, so let's do some ads, Phil. And by the way, thank you to our episode sponsor, Rogers Roofing.
Okay, Calumet Brewing. Busch Light, the coldest and smoothest light lager, is calling you to embrace the great outdoors, the roar of NASCAR, and the joy of cracking a cold one. Celebrate life's moments with Busch Light, and then head over to Cal Brew on Facebook or Instagram for a chance to win a Busch Light Igloo Cooler. Visit Busch.com and their social media pages for exciting updates and events. Head for the mountain of Busch Light and enjoy beers and cheers responsibly.
Prestmer Insurance Company. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, have helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Byway Brewing. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery that welcomes you to their spacious tap room and outdoor patio. Award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provides a perfect backdrop for private events. Actually, Philip and I, we've had private events there for Mayor Tom
with the food truck.
Vesmar had a private event with the food truck.
Beatles Fest, that's right.
Went there.
And it was awesome.
Oh my God, the burgers were amazing. Their catering is good. I want to try the breakfast catering because you hear that
Tom keeps
really
talking
good.
about
Yeah,
that.
I know.
It was awesome.
Yeah. How do we get that set up?
We have to figure that out. I think we have to. Phil, you need to call the Phil over at Byway and get that set up.
If you want to go try some of this good food from Byway, it's just off 8094 at Kennedy Avenue, the south exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Good work on that, John.
They had a big event there yesterday evening. I think it was the Regional Development Company had some sort of annual event.
It really, I mean, no, it's no joke. It really is a nice venue for an event.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know, their staff is good, and it's just efficient. You know you're going to get quality service, and they can handle your event.
And you know what? Since they early on when they first opened, they didn't have like the TVs with the games on, and now that they've added the TVs with the games, because I'd be like, I want to watch the game. It's on now. You could even go in there.
They
check out the
also
game.
change their menu like weekly.
Yes.
And I love it because you go in, you don't know what's going to be on.
Yep. Specials are always
I went
awesome.
in for lunch. They had this pork quesadilla. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was
good.
so. You guys are going to want to head over
now
there today.
you know what? You just got me hungry.
It's delicious. Go ahead. I'm telling you,
Pork
get the pork
quesadilla.
quesadilla.
All right.
Okay.
Kuklakis Law. Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges? Unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Kuklakis Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert representation for real estate transactions, need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Kuklakis Law is there for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, their team is ready to help. Call Kuklakis Law today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Nice work there. By the way, when I was talking to Kuklakis Law folks, one thing that they pointed out that I think is something that's advantageous for folks who live right along the state line is they do Illinois.
Oh.
And, and that's John, I know you're focused mostly in Indiana. I have an Illinois license, but I don't practice over there a lot, only when I need to. But these guys are there all the time. So.
I have people come to me looking for Illinois referrals all the time, so that's good. Thank you.
Law.
Just so people know, I practice in every state. So
you have a quote unquote national law license.
Call me for anything.
John and I know a guy who used to say he had a national, which doesn't exist, national law license.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You are insane.
Yeah, he got in trouble.
Do we know him?
He no longer has a national law license.
He lost it.
Do we know the guy?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
All right. So before we get into our porn segment today, I want to make everybody here is a Cubs fan, and I know that you guys were probably listening to the last episode when Tom talked about Craig Counsell becoming the manager of the Cubs. Any reaction?
I want to cry. I want to lay on the floor and cry. I hate
interesting.
Greg Counsell. I hate his face. I hate the way his managerial style. We gave him this huge contract, the biggest contract ever for a manager. It makes me sick. I do not.
I love it. John's riled up, man.
Yes.
I love this.
I'm so upset. I'm honestly. I cried. I think I teared up in my car when I heard the news. Like, it's gross. It is disgusting.
You love Doug. You love Rossi?
No, he's okay.
Right.
You know what? He would be a great third base coach. You want him in the dugout. You want his energy.
Or
The
bullpen
players
coach.
all love him.
He's a catcher.
Yeah. Yes. Bullpen coach is good. I think that more visibility and more in the dugout.
True. You're right about that.
But, his pitching selections were terrible. Like, if a catcher isn't making good bullpen decisions, how do we trust the rest of his game? Like, he's not that good.
I can't wait to see the first interview with him.
Well, apparently he's already got some quotes on here about how he gets mad from time. Could I just real quickly give my opinion?
Yeah,
yes.
Because I disagree with John. Craig Counsell is a great manager. He obviously, I think they made the playoffs 5 out of the last 8 years. Since
5 of the last 6.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess sure, 5 of 8.
Okay,
yeah, right.
So he's
They had the horses.
been great. But let me tell you this: David Ross is a very good manager. He took a bunch of misfit toys that they threw on his roster this year.
Nobody thought that they were going to do well this year.
That wasn't supposed to happen. We weren't even supposed to be in a playoff race, and I know it fell apart at the end. But my prediction is he goes to another team, and he's going to be very successful. I don't have any problem with his pitching decisions, and I think he played above what he had on his roster this year. So I'm a big fan of David Ross.
I am too. Well, how can you not like Rossi? Just based on
he earned another
what
season.
He did as a player.
He earned another season for sure this year.
Cubs didn't think it was somewhere else. Apparently,
he's going to.
we're always going to love him.
That's going to be fun when he coaches against the Cubs the first time.
Oh yeah,
he basically was
throw
saying
out their
that.
heads.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think he'll go that far.
When you go to a game now and you bring a family of 4, you're going to spend over $1,000.
It's a lot of money.
There's advertising everywhere, so they don't even need the ticket prices to be this high because they've commercialized
everything.
The shit out of the
whole neighborhood.
Confines. The whole neighborhood changed.
I agree.
It looks completely
like
different. I'm already
Agree as
pissed.
well.
Now you bring in Greg Counsell. I'm not going to be a Sox fan, but I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I never liked Craig Counsell as a
Never.
player.
I hate
Annoyed
him.
me.
God.
Because he's one of those real scrappy guys.
Yes.
Not annoyed like I hate him. It's just like
I hate his face. I hate the way he looks in a helmet. I hate the way he manages.
Yeah, you knew when he was up to bat, he was going to do
Scrappy.
something that was
Yeah,
going to hurt
something
your
hurt
team.
the Cubs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good thing for him as manager.
And
He's gonna
his
be
ball,
good.
every ball he hit had eyes. It would just avoid
exactly.
the shortstop. He never hit the ball. It was just like a dribbler, and then he gets
Choked up
double.
on the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if the
All right.
Cubs sign a big free agent, everybody's going to be.
He looks like
Well,
excited.
I'll tell you this: they better do something because it cannot be like, hey, we signed Craig Counsell for $8 million a year, and we're 2 games under 500.
He looks exactly like a camel, and I hate him.
John Cantrell. There. All right. Well, we've waited long enough. Let's get right into it. Let's get into the porn.
Yeah.
Besbar's been scrolling through
Yeah,
these
John,
articles.
John's
for
been
an hour.
quiet because
Research. It's
Speaking
research,
of cum
guys.
pass.
All right.
You going to Virginia this weekend, Besbar?
So
Oh, man.
this is an article that John Cantrell found for us. We love him for that. As you know, one of the big things this week in elections around the country was the fact that the Virginia House of Delegates and the Virginia Senate was kind of up for grabs. You had Governor Youngkin, who has his eyes maybe on the presidency someday, kind of he put it out there. He's like, I want to get the House of Delegates, which is the lower house in Virginia, and the Senate back in Republican control. And he along with the other folks failed in that regard that were trying to do that. It's the House and the Senate are now in Democratic control in Virginia. But one of the people that didn't win on the Democratic side was a gal that was caught in a sex scandal, but she almost won.
Caught?
I think John would have, Vez, would you have voted for her?
Yes.
Is that the first Democrat you would have ever voted for?
No.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm just teasing.
So she is like not saying it wasn't her. This was this candidate, a Democratic candidate, and her husband were live streaming sex acts, and they were monetizing it because they said, hey, if you pay more money and the tips reach this amount during the live stream, that they would do really specific and filthy acts. And I don't want to make this episode dirty because it makes
Don't go
Kevin
dirty.
You don't want to make it dirty?
Yeah.
Because you
Look,
said
you've
that
done
at
the
the
compass.
beginning? Yeah.
Just because I point things out doesn't mean, like other people think this way.
She's a nurse practitioner, married mother of 2, and the porn website was discovered in September, and she still stayed in the race. And it was interesting, her quote, John, can you scroll down just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because this was her quote. My political opponents and their Republican allies have proven they're willing to commit a sex crime to attack me and my family
that's a
because
good
there's
point.
no line they won't cross to silence women when they speak up. I don't
That's
know if she
her.
was speaking up. There she is.
So
John?
they were the Republicans right before the election sent out screenshots of her in a sex act. It was like
Like
they
a
pressed
mailer?
They pressed pause and they mailed it out, and the mailer on the outside of it said, for adult eyes only, you must 18 to be looked at.
So when your fifth grader got home from school and got the mail before you got home, you think he didn't open it?
Yes, of course you open that and then you hide it. That's what all kids do. Yeah,
Put it under your pillow.
especially during puberty. Yeah.
So I found the name of the website that she was
Oh,
streaming
come
on.
on.
And I want to know, honestly,
Okay.
if you guys have heard of this website.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
You would be honest, promise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called Chatterbait.
No,
Chatterbait.
Yeah.
I've
No.
never heard of that.
I think I've seen it in ads or something.
What? Even that is
A
revealing.
lockpot ad?
Yeah, maybe it was.
When have you
podcast.
ever seen Chatterbait in an
It
ad?
sounds familiar.
Wow.
When he was on Pornhub.
Yeah,
Yes.
it could be. It's
Chatterbait. I guess you go watch these live streams and you, like John said, you could tip.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
One of the things that's going to happen out of this is that she is going to make a lot of money.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the
I did sign
question.
up after reading this article.
Could this have been a
A setup?
did she's like, all right, how do we make more money from our live streams? She's like, I
Absolutely.
know I'm going to run for
Yes.
thinking
Senate.
she's not going to
Yes.
win. She's like, I'm not going to win.
Of course.
Do you think that Travis Kelce is making more money for advertisements since he started
Very
dating
good point.
Taylor Swift and he's in the limelight?
300% up in social media followers.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, she's a nurse practitioner. She's already making good money. Like, how much money do these people want?
Well,
Do nurse practitioners
this is like life changing for your children.
What about
money.
your kids? Like, hey, I saw your mom on Chatterbait.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Like, hey,
That's
your
not
mom's
good.
really flexible.
Does she
not
have?
good.
Well, think about if she won. Like, how's everybody going to
Wow.
be looking at her
at
and
the
like,
State House
Hey, saw your video this morning.
here in Richmond this morning.
Yeah, that would be awkward. But
Wow. Good for her.
yeah,
That's the final word on that article.
I don't
Good
know.
for her.
Good for her. She's going to make a ton. A ton.
she is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Anyway,
More porn.
moving on. More porn.
This
is
was
a weird
really
one.
right.
This is-
Go ahead,
man.
John. Lead it in, Vez.
No, this is your.
All right. So, Mike Johnson, who is now the Speaker of the House, an article, kind of a video, and he's a very conservative Christian from Louisiana, and he's been hounded by the media about, did you, were you an election denier? Because he signed on to this brief in Texas that was trying to overturn the election. Are you going to go as far as putting on the floor of the House a national abortion ban? And I think there's a lot of Republicans nervous about that because of what happened in places like Ohio, which I always, in my mind, Ohio was a blue state, but that's turned over the last several elections and is now considered pretty reliably red. And they voted overwhelmingly to enshrine abortion rights into the Constitution. So, this guy's pretty conservative. Also, recently on an interview, I think last week, he even didn't really say he didn't deny that he would try to ban contraception. He didn't say he would, but he didn't deny it either. So this is a really kind of interesting clip that happened last year. As I mentioned, he's a very conservative Christian, and he admitted I don't know if he was hawking it or he was just admitting talking about it, but it's this. It was a War on Technology event that was at the Cypress Baptist Church in Benton, Louisiana, and he talked about this software called Covenant Eyes.
I've heard of it. I'm joking.
Kelly has it on your phone. You just don't know, dude.
So Covenant Eyes.
That he learned about at a Promise Keepers retreat.
Correct. And Promise Keepers is like when a bunch of Christian dudes get together and sing and hold hands and promise things, right?
But they've had some bad headlines recently.
I'm not saying I'm for or against Promise Keepers. I'm just saying it's out there. So what this?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Oath Keepers.
Yeah. Different.
This is not Oath Keepers. Okay.
Promise Keepers is like a retreat for Christian men to go and get their kind of be on the straight and narrow and
good for
lead good lives, right, and be good people.
Amen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But this Covenant Eyes is it scans all your electronic devices and gives a weekly report to an accountability partner, who you get to choose. So who do you think Mike Johnson chose as his accountability partner?
And you guys want to watch?
Yeah, let's see what he said.
All right.
Covenant Eyes is the software that we've been using a long time in our household. I first learned about it at I think a Promise Keepers event in the early 2000s. I think it was developed in about the year 2000. But it's the largest accountability software that there is, and there's some paperwork out there on the table that I think everybody may have picked up on the way in. If not, go get it.
It sounds like he's a spokesperson
like he's hawking
for this,
it, right?
Yeah.
It's a subscription-based. I mean, we don't make any money on this. I'm telling you, we use it. Okay, I'm endorsing it because I'm a user. It's about $15 a month, $16 a month, something like that. And you get up to 10 devices. And what it is accountability software. So men in a church, men's Bible study groups will do it. That's how it's presented at Promise Keepers. But they also mention, hey, when your kids become teenagers, especially if you have boys, dads, they're talking to the guys at this event, you might want to think about doing this with your sons. And so we've been doing that. And so what it does real simply is it has an algorithm and software. It's way above my head how it works, but it scans. You obviously opt into it, but it scans all the activity on your phone.
What? Okay, that's crazy, but
right?
We'll revisit that in a second.
Devices, your laptop, tablet, what have you. We do all of it. And then it sends a report to your accountability partner. So my accountability partner right now is Jack, my son, right?
Whoa.
That is so bizarre. My accountability partner is my
Why not his wife?
17-year-old son.
Yeah, and then his son's name is Jack. Like that's
all right.
That's
and what else he say? So and then he goes on to say like, listen,
okay.
this is the total like when I was like, I call bullshit.
Okay.
And so he's 17. So he and I get a report of all the things that are on our phones or all of our devices once a week. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice. I'm proud to tell you my son he's got a clean slate. All right. But we get a report.
Okay. He's just using a different device.
Exactly. You moron. How dumb are you? He's 17. He has 50 different ways and 50 different devices to go on these sites, and you have no idea what he's on.
And he's laughing when like the dad gets a report. Great job, Jack.
Yeah.
Another clean week.
Good job.
He's like deciduous trees.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
come on. Like, but also think about like this is gonna make people go like masturbate in a public library because they're trying to figure out ways to do it. Yeah,
It might be good for like maybe it's good for print media.
Yeah,
because like all of a sudden people are like subscribing to Penthouse again.
They're printing stuff at the library.
If my dad said, "Hey, Phil, you're going to be my accountability partner," I would go on so much crazy porn. So that he'd be like, he's like, you know what? I'm going to get a different partner.
I'm getting another alert. Papa T's phone is blowing up.
Yes.
He goes like, what? Phil, what is this website?
My dad would be hiring a psychiatrist for me. Like, Phil, you may have some problems.
Philip, do me a favor. Please don't come over for Thanksgiving this year. Like,
you're uninvited.
That's a whole nother conversation. Like, you're at the Thanksgiving dinner table. You're like, hey, guys, I'm proud to say Jack has been getting into threesomes this week.
Jack, we have to have a family meeting about the accountability report I received on this
if
week.
you were going to try to alarm your dad, what would be like an example?
Oh, my God, something with animals? I don't know. I would do something that would really make him upset.
Vez, I mean, what's your this is weird, right?
Watching the video made it seem less weird to me. Actually, the article makes it seem really weird. But yeah,
the accountability partner thing
don't
is
choose the sun.
No,
and
it's not good for the sun either. Like the sun just. Yeah.
I don't like the whole monitoring everything you do on your phone. That's
weird.
Bizarre.
And that's a kind of a high price. $17 a month. That's not cheap.
No, it does sound like he's making money. By
$70 a month to out myself.
Right. So there's 4 of us. What the fuck? There's 4 of us in the room. All right, and then we'll include Tom and Jill.
Yeah,
and we'll all be each other's
accountability partners.
We'll try it
Can we do this?
And we'll read the reports.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, like what's the worst thing that could happen?
We don't. That's the mystery here.
Oh, we need the other part. I need to have Chris, my wife Kristen, write the waivers. Because we don't we don't want Jill to sue.
That's true.
We're talking about Jack too, the son, but let's be honest. He's probably on several other
Who
devices
knows, right?
too.
He's a congressman.
Did you
Come
guys?
on.
I did a deep dive on this. You know what his son's middle name is?
Me off.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say.
There we go.
I knew it was coming at some point.
So I'm going to wrap us up. Are we good?
I want to say, jokes aside, Mike Johnson, in case you're watching, which I'm sure you are. Everyone in DC is
all day.
I think I like you. I think you're going to do a great job. Just hang in there, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let's wrap it up.
No, look at his face. How could you like that guy?
How could you not like that face? He's got a nice, strong jaw.
I agree with that.
He's super punchable. My Matthew Broderick.
Okay.
They look exactly like
For
Matthew
legal
Broderick.
reasons, that was a joke.
I said
John, flash the
I didn't say
disclaimer.
I wanted to.
The
I
yellow
didn't say
disclaimer.
I want to punch him. I
Usually
said
when people are real outspoken about something great that they're doing, they're doing the opposite behind the scenes.
Yes.
All I would say about Mike Johnson is, look, when you become, it's one thing to be a congressperson, it's another thing to be Speaker of the House, and so it's all about to see how his leadership style is. I mean, I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt and see what happens. And the first challenge is going to be what he does regarding continuing resolution or shutting the government down.
But didn't I just read he already brought up a couple bills and they said they're not going to get heard already? Like he's already having challenges because the Republican Party is dysfunctional.
He's got a tough job ahead of him, and we'll see what he does. So we wish him luck, I guess. So let's wrap it up. You guys, thank you, by the way. Great show. Phil, appreciate you coming in. Chief of Staff is here in the house, so we always appreciate seeing Phil. And, of course, John Cantrell, the not as good-looking member of Cantrell and Cantrell. Always like having John in for his insight, both on the law and porn. So thank you, John, for visiting us on episode 19.
It's great to be here, but Phil knew chatterbaiters.com.
That's the thing we're not going to get into right now. So and of course, Vez, great job. I know there were a lot of links today, so wonderful production. Jill, we missed you, even though we forgot where you were momentarily, but welcome from Portugal. I hope you're having a great day in Portugal right now. And of course, stay tuned Tuesday.
I just went to
Tuesday to see Locomotive will be back.
I just realized Chatterbait is one of my 4 boxes at the bottom. Is that weird?
You totally lied.
Before I forget, everybody out there, thank a veteran. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
We're out.
Peace.